Welcome to Tech Out webinar number 10, Flip Classroom Tools. I'm Ashley Kaufman.
And I'm Brittany Jeans.
Today we're going to showcase several apps and tools that are essential to any flipped classroom. We'll discuss the idea behind the flipped classroom model and offer strategies on the best ways to implement and maintain a flipped classroom. Before we dive in, let's first discuss what we mean by a flipped classroom. Essentially, it's the opposite of what we think of as a normal classroom. In a normal classroom, we'd expect to see the teacher at the front of the room lecturing her students. At the end of class, she would give her students an assignment to complete and send them on their way with homework. In a flipped classroom, the typical lecture and homework elements of course are reversed. Short video lectures are viewed by students as homework before the class session, while in-class time is devoted to activities, projects, and discussions.
So why should you consider flipping your class? Well, in a traditional lecture, students are often trying to capture what is being said at the instant the speaker says it. They cannot stop to reflect upon what is being said, and they may miss significant points because they are trying to transcribe the instructor's words. Also, distractors in class may cause students to redirect their attention, thus losing focus on the lesson. By contrast, the use of video and other pre-recorded media puts lectures under the control of the students. They can watch, rewind, and fast forward as often as needed. Students can watch the video as many times as needed to understand the lecture and have the opportunity to go back and review the lesson at any point in time. More and more teachers have converted to the flipped classroom model, and statistics are proving it to be a success. 97% of teachers that have converted to the flipped classroom model have experienced success and would recommend other teachers to give it a try. 9 out of 10 teachers have noticed a positive change in student engagement since implementing a flipped classroom. 80% of students participating in a flipped classroom environment have improved their grades. Standardized test scores have improved by 67% for teachers utilizing this teaching method. And overall, 85% of students agreed that they actually prefer the flipped classroom model to the traditional class.
An effective flip requires careful preparation. Teachers must be organized and focused in their lesson planning. Before beginning any lesson, teachers must first plan the lesson out and decide when the lesson will be taught. The video lesson must be recorded a few days before it is posted for students to watch. You may also choose to find the video to share with your students rather than create your own. We'll look at some apps and resources you can use for both creating and curating content. Once you have recorded the lesson or found a video to share with students, you will assign the video for students to watch on their own. It is always a good idea to monitor student progress of completion. Just as you would expect students to complete a homework assignment, you should require that students watch the assigned video lessons. Later, we will share some valuable tools to facilitate monitoring. After students have watched the video, allow time in class for questions, discussion, and reflection. The next step is to evaluate student understanding through informal and formal assessments. And repeat. Once the lesson is finished, you will start all over for your next lesson.
To record or not to record? That is the question. You have 2 options for delivering content: create your own video lessons or borrow someone else's. Although it is time consuming, I recommend creating your own video lessons. This is the best way to ensure the content is aligned with the state standards and it's delivered in a manner that your students are most familiar with. If you do choose to record, here are a few things to keep in mind. Write out a script and practice. It might require a little extra time up front, but will keep you from stumbling over your words and having to re-record a million times. Find a quiet spot to record away from background noises and distractions. You don't want to hear your dog barking or your kids yelling. Keep your target audience in mind. The average attention span of kids is 3 to 5 minutes, arguably shorter in teens. In the classroom, you would want to change activities every 10 to 15 minutes to keep their focus. In your video lessons, you should limit the time to 10 to 15 minutes as well. It's better to break a long lecture into bite-sized chunks that students will actually watch. And are you afraid to hear your own voice? You're not alone. Most people, even us, hate the sound of their own voice in a recording. Students are used to hearing your voice every day, and this will not sound any different to them, so don't be afraid to hear your own voice.
We are going to take a look at 4 tools you can use to record your lessons. Educreations and Explain Everything are whiteboard apps for recording on your iPad, while Active Inspire and QuickTime are tools for recording on your computer. Educreations is an interactive whiteboard app and screencasting tool that's simple, powerful, and easy to use. Annotate, animate, and narrate nearly any type of content as you explain any concept. So why should you use Educreations? Its interface is extremely user-friendly. You can add images from the gallery or take a photo. You can use the pen tool to annotate while presenting, and you can save the videos to the web with links to share or with the embed code. To start a lesson, tap the plus sign in the top left corner. The red microphone icon will start your recording. You can pause and resume recording at any time. The pen tool allows you to annotate on the whiteboard. You can erase any errors, and you can change the color of the pen. The plus sign allows you to add text by tapping on the screen. You can duplicate the text, move it around, and delete it. You can also lock it in place so it's not accidentally moved. The plus sign also allows you to add photos from your camera roll. So I'll add a picture of Texas. You can pinch and zoom to resize, or you can adjust the size using the fit height and fit width. You can also rotate the image and lock it in place. You can annotate over your image with the pen tool. You can duplicate the page at the top, and then you can also change the background to line paper or graph paper. When you finish recording, you save it and give it a lesson title. So I'll call this one My Lesson. Tap Save. Once it's saved, you can preview your video by tapping the thumbnail image of your video. You can also share it through different apps or by copying the link and embed code. In Educreations, you can create classes and assign the videos to your class. The three heads icon will show the list of classes and provide an enrollment code for each class. In addition to creating your own lesson, the star icon allows you to browse featured lessons created by expert teachers. Any lesson you find here can be shared with your own classes using a link or embed code.
Explain Everything is a screencasting and interactive whiteboard app that lets you annotate, animate, narrate, import, and export almost anything to and from almost anywhere. Although this app costs $2.99, it is well worth the amount for all of its features and is our personal favorite whiteboard tool. So why do we like this app so much? For one, you can add text, lines, shapes, images, and annotations to your video. Explain Everything also links to Google Drive so you can easily import documents to your video and then annotate over them. If you make a mistake while recording, simply rewind and re-record. And finally, with Explain Everything, the video is saved in a format that you can go back and edit any part at any time. Export your video to Google Drive for permanent storage and easy sharing. To get started and Explain Everything, click the plus icon in the top left corner. Choose to start a lesson from a blank template or upload a document from one of these many file storage systems. Today, we'll start with a blank template. This is your whiteboard. Your annotation toolbar is on the left-hand side and the recording tools are across the bottom. Use the pen tool to write on the screen. The hand icon will select text and other objects so you can move them around the screen. The highlighter will highlight on top of anything, image, text, or shape. You can change the colors at the bottom. You have access to a full color wheel and can adjust the opacity. The shape tool allows you to add shapes. You can resize, rotate, adjust the color of the fill and the outline of each shape. The A icon will add text. You can select from a variety of fonts, sizes, and add a border. The X will delete any object from your whiteboard, or you can always undo your last action. The plus icon will insert an object. Choose from photos, videos, sounds, equations, websites, or import files from Google Drive and Dropbox. Let's add a photo from the camera roll. When you add an object, you can resize using the pinch action and rotate tool. The eye icon allows you to select multiple objects on the screen and then duplicate, copy, or group them. The bullseye icon is a laser pointer, which is a great tool to point out important information while recording. Tap and hold to see all the different laser pointer options. The magnifying glass allows you to zoom in on part of your presentation, and the window icon will minimize your toolbar while recording. Across the bottom, you can view your slides. You may choose to duplicate them, change the background color, or delete them. You can always click the plus sign to add a new blank slide. Tap the record icon when you're ready to begin recording. You can pause at any time. But the best part about Explain Everything is the ability to rewind and re-record a segment of your video using the timeline tool. You can either override it or mix the audio. The share arrow allows you to export your projects as a video, PDF, or image to any of these apps. You can save your project within Explain Everything and go back and edit at any time.
Although intended for creating flip charts, ActiveInspire has its own built-in screen recording tool. Users can easily record part or all of their computer screen while narrating their lesson. What are the benefits of ActiveInspire? First, the software is already installed on all district computers. You can also install it on your home computer. Just contact your EdTech trainer for directions. You can annotate using desktop annotation, and you can save video files directly to your computer. Just keep in mind that you'll need an external mic on PCs in order to record your voice. To start, open ActiveInspire on your computer. On the menu bar across the top, go to Tools, More Tools, Screen Record. You will see two options, Full Screen Recorder and Area Recorder. Full Screen will record everything you see on your screen, while Area Recorder allows you to select only a portion of your screen to record. For this example, we'll just do a full screen recording. A recording window will appear. Click the red record button to begin recording. It will ask you to first save your recording, so I'll go ahead and type in my lesson and save it. Notice the red record button changes to a flashing blue button while recording. You will have full access to all the ActiveInspire tools. You can write, type, draw anything on the screen. And I know writing with the mouse can be challenging, so we recommend using a slate. You can also use desktop annotation to write over anything on your computer, a website, a PowerPoint presentation, a PDF worksheet. In this example, I'm writing over a keynote presentation. To stop the recording, simply click the stop button on the recording window. Your lesson will be saved automatically on your computer.
For MacBook users, QuickTime is a great screen recording tool. Select to record part or all of the screen and create lessons by narrating over presentations on the desktop. So why is QuickTime a great tool? For one, the software comes preloaded on all MacBooks. The built-in microphone on Macs makes it easy to record your voice. All video files are saved to your Mac, and you can import video clips into iMovie to create dynamic lessons. To get started, first open QuickTime Player on your MacBook. It will pop up with a window to open a previous video, or you can click Done to start new. On the menu bar across the top, click File, New Screen Recording. The recording window will appear. You can select your audio source and decide if you would like to show mouse clicks while recording. Press the red record button to begin. To record full screen, click once. To record an area, click and drag to select the area, and then select Start Recording. Keep in mind, QuickTime will only record your voice and actions. There are no annotation tools to write on the screen. When you're finished recording, click the Stop button in your menu bar across the top. The recording will pop up. You can play it to preview it and then save it if you like it.
Not feeling creative? No problem. There are tons of video databases available where you can find relevant video resources for your class. Here are a few databases to choose from. Mansfield ISD teachers have access to two extensive video databases, Discovery Education and Safari Montage. You can find quick links to access these resources on our EdTech website. edtech.mansfieldisd.org. Let's take a look at Discovery Education to start with. To log in, go to discoveryeducation.com and click the blue login button at the top right corner. The Technology Department has recently migrated your DE accounts to Google, so there's no need to remember another password. Simply click the red Sign In with Google button and enter your MISD Google account information. Remember, this will be your first and last name at misdmail.net. The password will be the same as your Active Directory, what you use to sign into the computer and email. The easiest way to search for content is through the keyword search box at the top. For this example, we will do a search for Pearl Harbor. The search results will load. You can narrow your results in the left panel by service, subject, grade, media type, and video details, such as closed captioning and editable. When you find a video you like, you can click the plus sign to add it to your quick list, or click the drop-down arrow to save it to your My Content folder. You can also share the video via social networks or with a link.
Another way to search in Discovery Education is by curriculum standards, which is directly below the keyword search box. Select your service, your state, the standards document such as STAR, the subject, grade level, and the results will show a list of all the student standards. Click the plus sign to expand the standards to see each student expectation. Click on one to populate a list of search results aligned with that SE. Again, you may choose to narrow your results.
One of the benefits of using Discovery Education is you can create classes and assign videos for your students to watch. Let's do a keyword search for robotics. I'll scroll down, find a video. So when I find a video I want to use in my class, I can click on the name or thumbnail to see all the details. I can preview the button by clicking play. And then down under the video, I can add it to my quick list, my content. I can assign the video, download, or under more, I can add to builder or share it. For this example, I'm going to click assign. I'm going to enter an assign date and a due date. Select the classes I want to assign it to. I can assign to individual students, or I can select all students, and then click assign. Now I can go to results under Classroom Manager, results by class, and I can click on the class to see all the videos I assigned and see the individual student progress for that video.
So it's always a good idea to monitor student progress and assess understanding of assigned videos. Two tools that we recommend using are Edpuzzle and Zaption. So why should you use these tools? Well, first of all, you can turn one-way videos into interactive lessons by adding quiz questions and other elements. Also, you can ensure students watch the entire video by preventing them from fast forwarding. Each of these tools allows you to see the progress of individual students and how they performed on the integrated quizzes. And finally, both of these tools are available as an iOS app, so they work perfectly on the iPad for the one-to-one classrooms. Our favorite of the two, though, is Edpuzzle, because you can create classes and receive quick visual feedback on student performance. And also, it's free. To get started with Edpuzzle, go to edpuzzle.com and click the blue Teachers Start Now button. With Edpuzzle, you have access to thousands of videos through all of these different channels: YouTube, Khan Academy, Vimeo, and more. Or you could also choose to upload the videos that you've created through Explain Everything, ActiveInspire, or QuickTime.
Edpuzzle makes it easy to customize a video. You can shorten the video by trimming the beginning or end. Simply drag the red markers to where you want the video to start and end. If you find a great video but think the narrator is a little hard to understand, or maybe you think you can teach it better, you can use Audio Track to replace the entire audio with your own voice. Click the microphone icon to start recording. The video will play, and then you can record your voice on top of it. You can press pause to collect your thoughts, and then press the microphone again to resume recording.
Audio notes allow you to add snippets of your recorded voice to capture students' attention or point out important highlights of the video. Use your mouse to drag the yellow microphone marker to the point in the video you wish to record your audio note. Click the microphone on the marker to start recording, and click the stop button when you're done. Notice it puts a little yellow audio marker above the timeline where there is an audio note. You could add multiple audio notes throughout the video by simply dragging the marker to new points on the timeline and recording new notes. Quiz questions can be embedded throughout the video to keep students engaged and check for understanding. Just like with audio notes, you will drag the green question marker to the point you wish to add the question. Click the question mark and the question box will pop up to the right of the video. There are 3 types of questions. The first is an open-ended. You can type your question in the box. Second, multiple choice. With multiple choice, you can add your answer choices. So we'll say true and false. You can select which answers are correct, and you may choose to add multiple answers. The last option is a comments box so that you can start a discussion with your class. To add multiple questions at the same point in the video, click the plus sign. Click Save when you are finished. You can add as many quiz questions as you want by dragging the marker to a new point on the timeline.
When you finish customizing your video, click the Finish button to share it or assign it to a class. Select the class or classes you want to assign it to. Check the box here to prevent skipping, and you can also add a due date. You can also adjust the dates it's available to your students. Click Send when you are done. Notice you can also share your Edpuzzle video with a link or copy the embed code to post it on your class website. As mentioned earlier, you can receive quick visual feedback on student performance in Edpuzzle. When you go to My Classes, you'll see a list of all your classes down the left-hand side. And you can also add another class from here down at the bottom. On the right, you'll see the videos you've assigned. You can watch it as a student. You can allow skipping. You can delete it. You can add a due date from here. And you can quickly see what percentage of your class has watched it. You can click the blue button to see additional progress details or share. I'm going to go to Digital Learning and look at this video. You'll see the due date is red because it has already passed, and 92% have completed it. So I'm going to click Progress, and I can view it by students or questions. So on students, I have a list of students, and I can see what percentage of the video they have watched. So they've watched 100%, so it's a green check mark. When I go to questions, I'll see a list of all my questions and the number of correct responses on it. I can export these results to a CSV file. Go back to students, and I'm going to look at individual students. So let me choose Elijah here. At the top left, you have a video progress bar, and this shows the number of times a student watched a particular segment. So I can see that Elijah only watched each segment 1 time. Over on the right, you can see the percentage of the video they watched, the number of correct responses, and the grade. At the top, you'll see a time stamp. And then down below, You'll see a list of all the questions and their responses for each one. And I can comment on each individual question. So I'll type in good and send that to the student. Now I can go to the next student and view their individual results as well.
So Edpuzzle is one of the best tools to create interactive video lessons, but there are a lot of options when it comes to organizing and sharing your videos. There are learning management systems such as Canvas, Edmodo, Google Classroom, and the Sophia Learning Network. These LMSs are extensive and include the ability to attach directions, assignments, and formal assessments to each video lesson. Video apps like Edpuzzle, Zaption, and EduCreations allow students to enroll in classes to view videos. Each of these tools are great to use if you simply want a way for students to watch the assigned videos. Finally, you can create your own class website using web building tools such as Wix, Weebly, and Google Sites. With websites, the possibilities are limitless. You can be as creative as you would like when deciding how to showcase your videos and class content.
When deciding how best to share videos with students, please keep these things in mind. First of all, how many of your students have an iPad or another iOS device? Tools like iTunes U are great, but are restricted to only iOS devices, such as an iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Secondly, how do you want to organize your content? And finally, are you going to upload assignments, notes, and other materials as well? Your answers to these questions will determine which tool is best for you.
So how do you ensure your flipped classroom is a success? First, teach your students how to flip. Explain the process of a flipped classroom and how it will benefit their learning. Second, help students learn to take notes while watching the video. For example, when I flipped my class, I used Cornell Notes with my Algebra 1 students. It helped the students identify questions and points of confusion while watching the video. Third, get everyone on board. Make sure parents are fully aware of the flipped classroom model and your expectations for students. And finally, hold them accountable. It can be hard at first to get your students on board with the idea of watching videos for homework. They might feel they are losing out on direct instruction, but the benefit of having class time to work with students and a video library for them to use as a review by far outweigh any disadvantages.
We wish you the best of luck on your flipped classroom endeavor. If you have any questions or need help, please don't hesitate to contact us or your campus EdTech trainer. Again, I'm Ashley Kaufman.
And I'm Brittany Jeans.
Thank you for watching Teched Out Webinar number 10, Flipped Classroom Tools.